Have Tottenham made a mistake hiring Ange Postecoglou?
Smart as he thinks he is, he's not the answer to us.
That's what I've been seeing pop up more and more in light of the form that Tottenham have brought to the end of Postecoglou's first season in charge.
In this video, we're taking a look back at year one of Ange at Tottenham, analysing whether or not those calling for his sacking are justified, and discussing what the future might look like with Postecoglou based on the evidence. 9 months ago, I was here looking at how Ange was winning over the doubters. I spoke to fans, looked at expectations surrounding the club, and watched his first Premier League win against Manchester United.
So I'm not a Tottenham fan, and I fully understand that in situations like this, there is an element of understanding that you can only really get by being a supporter of the club. That being said, I have followed Postecoglou's journey in detail. He's coached club sides that have battered my own. He's coached the national team I support. And throughout my work, I've studied a lot of what he's done in Japan and Celtic, with a big focus on how he was received by supporters. Throughout all of that time, I can't quite remember him having a season like this one.
Not long after that first victory against United, I found myself back watching Ange Ball, this time at the season's first North London derby, the ultimate litmus test for an incoming Spurs manager. And Postecoglou well and truly passed. A draw against Arsenal, a lucky win against Liverpool, followed by 3 more convincing ones, had Spurs top of the league, Ange winning multiple Manager of the Month awards, and a level of expectation that wasn't possible to maintain.
Chelsea look to put it to bed now. Jackson there again. That is it.
Now, there's no denying that this was definitely a turning point in Spurs' season, but even with their injury list, nobody really thought they'd have to wait another 5 matches to taste victory again. What's crazy though is, as much as people thought Tottenham's season was unravelling, by the time we got to January, they weren't in a bad place. It is the 1st of January 2024 and we're about halfway through the season, and for Tottenham, I don't think many were expecting this. The entire perception of Spurs has gone from, okay, they actually are contenders, to, okay, we were hasty in our assessment of them, to back in this weird middle ground. I think now we are at a point where Ange has got the respect that he maybe wasn't getting at the very beginning, but it's so hard to tell which way the season's going to go and where Tottenham are going to finish. Of course, we know now how things transpired, but it does feel crazy that just a few months ago there was 1 point between Arsenal and Tottenham. I feel like this is really important to bring up because the reaction from some Spurs fans since this run of form makes it seem like Ange is completely out of his depth, which just isn't true.
At the beginning of the season, nobody had Tottenham competing for the Champions League or top 6, even with Harry Kane. This season, Spurs have been one of the most entertaining teams to watch and given us some of the most thrilling games, all while dealing with rebuilding their squad and their style. For this reason alone, the extent to which Ange has been scrutinised by many feels insane.
So that takes us to right now, and personally, based on history, I think there's a lot to be excited about.
Ange Postecoglou has almost always required significant time to really get the best from his squad. The shouts from those that think he needs to get sacked are no different to the voices of many at various points of almost all of his previous stints.
That's what you paid for.
So you're saying I should resign.
I think
that's
you should,
your opinion, is that right?
That's my opinion.
Fine.
And the idea that Postecoglou doesn't have a plan B and therefore can't take Spurs to the next level is short-sighted. From flirting with relegation in Japan to almost missing World Cup qualification with Australia, to finishing second from bottom with Brisbane, to a hostile reception after early wobbles with Celtic, Ange has always found a way to turn things around. All of those tenures ended with incredible success, and while I fully understand that this is the Premier League and that we're dealing with the best players and tactical minds in the world, history and evidence suggest that teams playing Ange ball only get better with time.